Spotlight. He leaves here at Bowman Library with a whole new middle grade book spotlight. So this week, this time around, we are taking a look at books that are inspired by, involve, have a plot line with natural disasters, okay? And because we're taking a look at natural disasters, this kind of takes us in a few different directions, okay? We have some books we're going to take a look at today that are inspired by true natural disaster events. We also have others that are inspired by possibilities, and there are others that might fall into that maybe a little bit dystopian post-apocalyptic type phase, okay? So there's a little bit of something for everyone because, you know, natural disasters, they bring out some stuff in people. There's a book for everyone on it, okay? So let's get started. We have 6 amazing ones. Our first one is Scout National Hero. So I will tell you this, first off, this is part of a series, but they are all standalone. So if you are an animal, especially a dog lover, this one is good that we're going to talk about here, but there are a few others, okay? So Matt has a new dog that would be Scout, okay? Now here's the deal with Scout. Scout, when he was a puppy, was a stray, okay? But then he was rescued, and then he was trained, and he has become one of the best search and rescue dogs in the state of Mississippi. And now he's got a little bit of a bump here. He's ready to move on to the next, his next challenge. And that is he is recruited, signed up, however you want to phrase it, to the National Guard, okay? Now, because of this change, Scout joins Matt's family in Nevada, okay? But Scout's having kind of a bit of some trouble adjusting, okay? There's a brand new family he has to get used to. There's a brand new state. He has a new job, and even though he's a dog, there's still challenges he goes through as well, okay? Now, Matt decides he's gonna try to help Scout adjust to everything, okay, and become part of the family. And it's while he's trying to help Scout out with all of this that a freak flash flood strikes their community. And both Matt and find themselves out of the blue having to bond together to try to help others to safety. And one of the individuals they have to save, they're gonna try, is Matt's sister, okay? Now, this again is an incredible adventure story, complete with a dog story. I will tell you, there is a happy ending. I don't talk about animal stories that have not a happy ending, okay? So this one, I promise you, does, okay? So you take that out of the equation. But if you're an animal lover, you love adventure, you will love Scout National Hero. Okay, Science Comics Volcanoes, Fire in Life, okay. I love this, okay? I love graphic novels. Plus, I love graphic novels that are not fiction, okay? Those work too, okay? This is what this is, okay? So this book is set in the future, okay? Earth has become extremely cold, and the main character, Aurora, and her siblings have been given the task to find materials that can be burned to help the community warm. They go to the library, and it's there that Aurora comes across a book about volcanoes. And upon finishing the book, she thinks the only way the world is going to get warm again is through volcanoes. Now, when she goes on this journey of discovery, exploration, and convincing others to join her on this quest, you'll learn everything you will need to know about volcanoes, and then even more than you ever need to know. You will become a volcano expert by the time you're done with this graphic novel, I'll tell you that right now. Now, there are many other science comics in this series. They're all standalones, but there are topics for everyone from weather to animals to the human body, and there's more. And we have them here at the library too, okay? Now, this is a unique way of learning about volcanoes because volcanoes are a natural disaster. I mean, it's like volcanoes and the power they have are incredible. This takes you through a non-fiction form of learning about these natural disasters in Science Comics Volcanoes. Escaping the Great Wave, okay? So 13-year-old Kyle, he's on vacation with his family. They're on the coast of Oregon, and then the unthinkable happens, okay? Alone with his younger sister one evening at the hotel, while his parents are out on a yacht at dinner. His dad's getting some big award. They're at this hotel, they're by themselves, and an earthquake rocks the hotel. Literally, okay? This leads to an enormous fire. The hotel is on fire, okay? And Kyle is tasked that he knows he has to get him and his sister out to safety as fast as possible. He knows he has to get out of the hotel. He knows he needs to get up the hill, and he knows he has to get as far away from the beach as possible. But that's going to be easier said than done because there are so many different roadblocks literally in their way. And a tsunami, okay, which can happen when an earthquake happens underwater, a tsunami starts to make its way to the shoreline, and time is not on their side. Now, this is told through Kyle's point of view, and is a fast-paced, action-packed thriller. It's one that you will not be able to stop reading until the very end, okay? You'll be right there with Kyle. One thing I love about this book is this book packs a punch, okay? This is a chapter book, okay? Think about, like, you see how skinny this is in my hands, okay? There is so much going on in this book, you will not be able to stop turning pages, okay? This is Escaping the Wave. Zayn and the Hurricane. So 12-year-old Zayn finds himself visiting his great-grandmother in New Orleans for the first time, okay? There's some family stuff that goes on at the beginning of the book you'll read about. They're meeting for the first time, and the timing could not be worse, honestly, because she lives in New Orleans, and it's right around the time that Hurricane Katrina is approaching the city. Now, under a mandatory evacuation, Zayn finds himself with his great-grandmother on a bus headed to safety, but when Bandy, Zayn's dog, jumps out the window and takes off, sorry about that, Zayn takes off after Bandy, and they soon find themselves alone in New Orleans with one of the worst hurricanes in history bearing and beating down on them. They make their way back to their great-grandmother's house. There they are saved by a girl named Malvina, who is Zayn's age. As the water levels start to rise, she's in a canoe. She helps them get out of the house. And they are forced to do whatever it takes in order to ensure their survival. And that's going to be things they never could imagine having to ever do, okay? This is told in first person from Zayn. You will feel the terror, you will feel the suspense as Zayn tries everything he can to survive. There are vivid descriptions provided that are based on true stories of what really happened in New Orleans during the immediate after and a little bit further after of Hurricane Katrina. And this is an incredibly eye-opening and suspenseful read. Yeah, like it is a suspenseful thriller, super impactful. This is Zayn and the Hurricane. A storm of strawberries. Okay, so Darby lives with her family on a strawberry farm. She's loving her life, and she loves her family, okay? Having Down syndrome does not slow her down one bit, and as a holiday weekend is approaching, it also means it's time for the annual chocolate festival, okay? And not only is there a holiday, there's a chocolate festival, but her older sister, Katie, is coming home, and she is bringing a friend along with her. Now, things soon change for Darby and her family, though, when a freak tornado occurs that impacts their strawberry farm. So not only are they dealing with the impact of this tornado, the fallout and the damage from it with their farm and maybe possibly their livelihood, but then secrets and family issues start to come out in their own type of tornado that threaten to change everything Darby knows about her family and loves about her family. Not just focused on the tornado, okay? That's not the only part of this story, okay? But there's also a whole aspect of the family dynamics and conflicts that occur as well. If you're looking for a read, if you enjoy a read that is multi-layered and complex, okay? Keep in mind, this book has a tornado in it, and that's not just the only thing that's going on, okay? This is the one for you, A Storm of Strawberries. And our last natural disaster book for our spotlight this time is Blizzard, Colorado, 1886, okay? So, it's 1886. That's when our story is taking place. And cousins Maggie and Hayden are stuck with each other. Even though that is the last thing either of them want, okay? Maggie lives in St. Louis. Hayden is from the Rocky Mountains, out by, like, Colorado. They find themselves in Colorado. Like, it's just, none of them want to be there. They're just over each other. When Maggie's father is injured, though, and Maggie's mother goes off to town to find someone for help, the cousins find themselves that they're by themselves, a little off to their own devices. And when the two of them end up in an argument, Hayden decides he's had enough and he sets off on foot to go back home, right? Maggie at first is happy about that. She's like over him, so she's good that he's left. That kind of quickly changes for Maggie, though, when a blizzard starts to come and approach where they are, and Maggie feels extremely guilty because there's no way that Hayden is going to make it through this blizzard. She has to go find him. So she sets off on foot, following where Hayden went to go find her cousin and to bring him back. The two of them end up facing extreme cold, avalanches, hunger, wild animals, and more, and the two of them are going to need to depend upon each other if they're going to survive and make it back. Now, I will tell you with this one, even if you may think you know how this is going to end, where this is going to go, all that type of deal, this one may end up surprising you. So if you're looking for maybe a little bit of like twist in there, a little bit of surprise, pick up this one, Blizzard, Colorado, 1886. So these are just 6 of the books we have here at the library that are natural disaster books, okay? Yeah, a little bit of something for everyone in this one, okay? So come on out, check out one of these, or guess what? I promise you we got other natural disaster books too. We got some nonfiction natural disaster books if that's what you're more into. So we can help you find whatever that book is you are looking for. I hope you have an amazing week and tune back next time with a whole new middle grade book spotlight.